Yeah, I mean, I had a great week. It was really busy, and a lot of last week with the 500 and 150s and stuff probably won't really sink in until I get to get home for a few days. But I had a really good time. We had just a wonderful speed week. So it couldn't have really gone any better, I guess. So excited to be here to Phoenix. I always feel like after Daytona, no matter how it goes, you kind of get to Phoenix and start the rest of the season. You know, Daytona is a big event and our biggest race of the year, and you put a lot of effort and emphasis into that. And I feel like once that's over, you come here and get ready to get serious about the next, whatever it is, 6 or 7 months, and hopefully try to get qualified for the chase.
Okay, we'll take a few questions from Matt. If you have one, raise your hand. Michael Knight in the far corner, and then we'll come back to Lewis.
Michael Knight, Arizona Republic. Congratulations, Matt. Some of the other drivers who have won Daytona, Trevor Bayne last year being a great example, would come in and tell us how much fun they had during the media tour the following week. Given that your personality is maybe a little, not as vibrant as some of the others, could you honestly say what you're doing and what you're going to do in the next few weeks? Is it really fun for you, or is it just part of the job?
Yeah, thanks. And I like your sweater, by the way. That's real vibrant, good-looking, bright color for you. I enjoyed it. I mean, I have fun. The first year we won in 09, that was one of the more fun weeks I've had, honestly. It was almost as fun as when we won the championship. Katie and I had a good time. It was 4 or 5 days. The race went off on time and all that, and I got to do a lot of cool things between, Letterman and the San Francisco tour and just a lot of cool stuff. And this week was fun, too. It was a little bit different just because the race went off so late Monday. Didn't get a lot of sleep. We still traveled over. It was still crazy. Still did a lot of stuff, and it was a little different because I answered questions about a lot of different subjects and not very much about us winning, really. So the week was different, but I still really enjoyed it. Whenever you can win a race like that, you need to enjoy it. A lot of people never get to win that race, and to be able to win 2 of them, I've certainly enjoyed it.
Go ahead, Lewis.
Lewis Frank with Reuters and Speed Week. How hard was it to do lines with Jay Leno? You spritzed here earlier. You've been spontaneous, but to repeat lines for an audience, how difficult was that for you?
It was fun. I was a little nervous. I usually, to get up in front and speak in front of people and stuff is sometimes nerve-wracking for me. So I was a little nervous, but I tell you, I had a really good time doing that. I know it was just a short little segment, but Jay Leno was so nice. It was the first time I really met him. I think I met him once at Indy when he drove the pace car just for 10 seconds, but so nice. Took some time with us, made us feel comfortable, did a little rehearsal, even changed the jokes a little bit for me, and added some things that I thought were funnier and stuff. So I mean, it was it was really fun. Well, no, he told me, he said, well, if you think it sounds better like this, do it like that. So I mean, it was I had really fun time doing that. He was a really nice guy. It's not like that everywhere you go. Everybody's not like that, so that was really neat.
Go ahead, sir.
Kevin Bollinger, Fox 5 in Las Vegas. Brad Keselowski was almost a little apologetic that the whole Twitter thing maybe overshadowed your win a little bit with a lot of the media. I wanted to get your reaction to that, and also what are your feelings on the whole Twitter and social media aspect of the sport?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was neat that it worked out where Brad was able to do that, honestly. I mean, that was I haven't got to see the whole telecast yet. I saw the last 40 laps this morning or whatever it was after the fire was all that was on my recorder in the motorhome. So I didn't see the rest of the race yet and see all that went on. But, I mean, I know that was entertaining for the fans, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I never knew that we could carry our phones in the car. Not that I'm going to start, especially when we're not supposed to have communications, with other drivers and all that anymore. So I'm not sure about all that, about having that in the car. But I think certainly during a red flag when you have 2 hours off, I don't really think there's anything wrong with tweeting and filling some airtime and doing all that because. Everybody knows they had a lot of airtime to fill between Sunday pre-race all the way until we finally got the race over Tuesday morning. So I thought it was neat.
Next question. Anybody else? Back in the back, we got 2, and then we got Jared.
Brian Nelson, Motor Racing Network. Matt, on the heels of that with Twitter, I know that I've been told that sponsors are kind of attentive to what drivers are doing to expose themselves in the sport. Do you feel because of that, any encouragement to be more active on Twitter as you try to fill out the season with sponsorship?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think certainly you look at what your sponsors like and what your team likes, and more than that, what the fans like, because without the fans in the seats and watching on TV, you're not going to have sponsors, and then you're not going to have races either. So I think that stuff is all really important, but with me, there has to be a line to where I don't do it where it takes any focus off the racing. I think during the week or Saturday night, if you're sitting in your motorhome not doing anything or whatever, I think there's a lot of good times for me where it doesn't take my focus off racing, where I can interact with them or tweet something I think was funny or cool I saw or whatever. But and like I said, everybody's different, but for me, there's also times, like in between practices and, probably even like the race and all that stuff. You probably won't see me doing that, because I don't want to take any focus away from, what I'm trying to do at the racetrack either.
Go ahead.
Vaughn Hilliard with PIR. You were just here in November on the new track. What are you taking away from that race into the Sunday?
Well, we took away a wrecked car. I like the track. That backstretch is kind of weird, but other than that, I really like the track. I think as it gets rubbered in and aged and everything, I think it's going to keep getting better, and they did a tremendous job of putting that rubber down, so I'm anxious to get on track here in just a little bit. So I thought we had a pretty good race car. We had some brake problems, and then we got wrecked, so we didn't get to finish how we wanted, but we started really strong. I think we were on the pole and led some laps early and had a competitive car, so I'm looking forward to getting out there and seeing how it is.
Go ahead, Lewis. Lewis, go ahead.
Matt, Lewis Frank again from Reuters. Forgive me, have you heard any more word about more sponsorship since the Daytona 500? Obviously it's a great selling point.
Yeah, I have not. I know that Steve in the sales department's working on it, but I really haven't heard anything. I've been pretty busy all week. I have talked to I talked to Best Buy CEO yesterday, and he was real fired up. And I talked to some other people there, some of our other sponsors and stuff, and they're all really excited. But I have not heard of any other races being added. But that'd be a good question for Steve in the sales department. I know they're fielding a lot of calls and they have a lot of leads and they're working on a lot of things. But to my knowledge, it's the same as it was last week.
Go ahead, Jared.
Jared Brees, NASCAR.com. Could you tell us, we obviously know about Leno and all the high-profile stuff on the media tour for winning the Daytona 500, but was there something that kind of flew under the radar that maybe a lot of people don't know about that really struck a chord with you? And secondly, now that the week is over, who do you think had more sleepless nights, you or your hauler driver?
Well, since a few years ago, the hauler drivers get plenty of rest. That industry is very well regulated, which it should be for safety. So I know my hauler drivers have got plenty of sleep, whatever it is, 8 on and 8 off. I don't know what it is, but I know it's to the minute. So I didn't get much sleep on Tuesday morning, I guess it would be, and Tuesday night I couldn't sleep. But Wednesday night I slept okay, and last night I slept great. So I feel almost normal right now. So that's good. And what was it? I couldn't hear the first part of your question. I'm sorry about that.
Was there anything on the tour that kind of flew under the radar that really struck a chord with you?
That struck a chord with me, like made me mad? You mean?
No, just like a visit that that you really took away from and saying, "I'm really glad I was here for this."
Yeah, I mean, there isn't really anything I did that I really didn't enjoy or whatever. So I went to probably the Mavericks game was pretty cool. I got to go there and hang out with Eddie Gossage. Eddie's a friend of mine, and I think he's one of the best promoters in the sport. And it's a great market and great area. So I had a good time going to the Mavericks game, and got to meet the coach, and it gave me an autographed basketball from the championship team from last year and all that. So that was pretty neat. Going to Leno's show was probably the highlight for me. That was fun, and going to San Francisco was always fun, seeing some of them places. And that I'm gonna get this wrong, the name of the restaurant, but that Grotto's down there. The guy who owned it kind of told me the whole story of his family owned it. I think it's been there since early 40s or something like that. The same location, so that was neat. In LA, going to that Pink's hot dog stand, I didn't know anything about that, and met that whole family, and that family started that place in 1939, I believe, 1939. And it's in the same location, and it's the same family. They just keep passing down, and they were just incredibly nice, and that was a really neat story about the place and how famous it was, and all the pictures of all the different stars from Hollywood who have ate there and everything. So that was enjoyable. When I drove by, honestly, I didn't think much of it. I kind of looked at it, I was like, all right, and then got to meet the people and hear the stories behind the place and everything. I thought that was really neat.